Okay, so Canada is a bilingual country, which means it has two official languages. French is spoken in the province of Quebec, and English is spoken almost everywhere else in Canada. The reason French is spoken in Quebec is because Quebec was a former French colony that was conquered by the British in the 1760s. And there has been a separatist movement in Quebec for decades. The separatists want to separate from Canada and make Quebec into an independent country. Now, the main separatist political party in Quebec is the Parti Quebecois, or PQ. They won power in the province roughly 18 months ago by defeating the Liberal Party, which was the previous party that held power. But in the most recent election in April 2014, April 8th or 7th, I guess, 2014, the Liberals won a majority government and inflicted a crushing defeat on the PQ. Now, before the election, the PQ had been in power, and they had called the election hoping that they would win a majority. But instead, they obviously lost completely. Now, here's my analysis of what happened. I think that there are more people in Quebec who are willing to vote for the PQ than people who actually support independence for Quebec. So maybe they have a hardcore following of sovereigntists or separatists who really want independence. But then there are a lot of other voters who will vote for the PQ even though they don't want to separate. And the reason that they would vote for the PQ is that it is a political alternative. So if they don't like the other parties, especially the Liberals, they might just vote for PQ, or they may vote for the PQ based on a lot of other policies, such as, for example, the PQ had a secular values charter, which seemed to have been popular among many voters in Quebec. They had some anti-corruption campaigns, and the Liberal government, before the Liberal government that was in power before the PQ won the previous election, the Liberal government had been caught up in corruption scandals, and so that probably made a lot of people not want to vote for the Liberals and want to vote for another party. So many people probably voted for the PQ as a political alternative. But during this recent election, many some PQ leaders and their opponents were talking about independence and holding a referendum to separate from Canada. Now, there have been a number of referendums in the past on whether people in Quebec wanted to separate from Canada, and obviously the separatists have lost previous referendums. But the idea of having another referendum and separating from Canada likely scared people away who had previously voted for the PQ because they were fed up with the Liberals, but who are not hardline separatists. Now it seems that a lot of Quebecers will vote for the PQ if they like the PQ policies, or if they have a problem with the other parties, with the policies of the other parties. But they will not necessarily vote for the PQ on the basis of separating from Canada.